Hey, you all, it's me, Fatima, all the way from the Gambia. Hey, I just want to come at you all today. I hope, well, let me say, I hope everything is well. I hope we're all doing good today. I hope we're blessed. And I wanted to come and ask you all, did you all see the movie that's probably the #1 movie right now on Netflix? It's called Leave the World Behind. Have you seen it? I have. I've seen the movie at least now, maybe out of this whole weekend. We could just say it was my weekend movie. And I wanted to come and give you my 20 perspectives on this movie. I want to point out 20 things that I think that you may have seen or may have noticed, and I'm just kind of curious about what do you think about these things. So before we start, let me say these few things first. If you're thinking about supporting me, which I all hope you do, please visit me at my website, the blackwomenetworking.com. Again, it's blackwomenworking.com. And what you'll find there is you'll see an African activity book that I have made for children. And you'll also see some journals that I've also created that I'm selling online. And yes, it is going to go to Amazon, okay? Also, we have a new site. I have two new channels. Let me put it that way. I have prayers to the Father Abba Yah, and it's just a matter of just a few prayers out there that we need to. We got to get ourselves praying up, y'all, because there is a lot going on. And also, a channel from I won't say her name yet, but a channel that we have that's getting ready to come about is Yahsavesanimation. Y'all check it out. Can I say your name? Okay. She's giving me permission to say her name. Cece has a channel, y'all. She's called Yahsavesanimation. And she does animation videos that's spiritually, of course, that's spiritually planted. And I want you all to go out there and check it out. She needs all the likes that she can get. We're trying to get up to a certain number of likes because this is how she's supporting herself. So go out there, y'all, support her. But 2 channels, Prayers to the Father Abba Yah and Yahsavesanimation. So check them out. Please give us some support. Give us a click and a like and just subscribe to those channels. All right. Okay. Now, let me see. Is there anything else? Oh, yeah. Let me give you another update. Yes, I am finally starting to build. Yes, finally starting to build, y'all. So if you want to see some of the videos that I'm going to put little short videos together on step-by-step, how much everything is going to cost me, what I'm getting done for that particular week, how long it's going to take, I have it underneath my membership. I have a membership channel that you can just click the join button. It should be down below. You should be able to click the join button and join to see my progress on getting, on just building here in Atlanta. I mean, excuse me, not Atlanta, good Lord, here in Gambia. And look, you all, I have my co-star back here, my grandbaby. He's the, you know how they always do when you're on the phone or even doing a video, that's when they mostly want to talk. You know how that goes. So if you hear any background noises, it's probably my grandbaby. So I hope you all forgive us for that, okay? Anyway, all right, y'all. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm hoping that you all see my screen. It says leave the world behind. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is talk about this. Before we even start, this has got to be the #1 movie on Netflix this weekend. Okay, it is Sunday. I'm not even sure the date today. Today's the 17th, and it's been out for a couple of days. And just to let you all know, I want to talk about 20 viewpoints. Just to let you all know, the very first thing that you will notice about this movie is who are the executive producers and the producers. Well, the producer was Julia Roberts. She's one of the producers. And yes, the executive producers, y'all, the Baracks or the Obamas. Yes, the Obamas. I was kind of surprised on that too. I really think that some of the stuff that is in the movie, they had hired him for consultation for putting certain things in the movie. So the president, our prior president, did not write the book or write the movie. but he was used as inquiring about a lot of stuff as far as what would happen or what would you do or how would this happen, just kind of like an end of world or new world order change, whatever you want to call it. He was actually as a consultant on this. So he did not write it, but I think what's happening is because of some of the stuff that was written in the movie, a lot of people are kind of upset about it, and they may be upset with him, but I don't think you need to be upset with him. I think that man is telling, and Miss Obama, I think they're just telling us some truth that we probably just don't want to hear. So, all right, so let's get into it. All right, so let's see. One of the first things I noticed was the walls is in blue. A lot of stuff is in blue. I mean, almost everything that they were doing was in blue. I mean, in my opinion, you all, I think the blue, obviously the blue signified something. Now, I wrote down some notes, so I wanted to put what I thought it was. Okay, so Cece's here with me, and I'm going to ask her opinion. I know you can't see her, that's because she's tending to the baby, but I'm going to put on here or ask her opinion sometime, or what do she think that this particular item or part of the story meant to her, okay? All right, so like for me now, the blue, at first I thought the blue represented, and I was wrong, I thought the blue represented like Democrats, Republicans. I don't know why I thought that, but it was so much blue in it. I mean, like the cars were blue, some of in the house was blue, the painting and the walls are blue. Even when they went out to the beach, they were in blue outfits. A lot of the people on the beach were in blue. So the blue is meaning something. What do you think the blue means, Cece?
Persistence and justice.
Okay, so she's saying that the blue meant, and like in the red, was it the flag? Yeah. Where it's red, white, and blue? The blue means what now? Persistent and justice. Okay, so even if we looked at it like that, persistent and justice, I would say the justice, like in this scene right here, where it shows a crack on the wall and it's in blue. What does the crack mean, Cece? What does the crack mean to you?
The theirs is coming to an end.
I think justice is getting ready to come to an end. That's what she's saying. She's saying that she thinks that the justice is getting ready to come into the end. I would say also, for me, the blue reminds me of the conspiracy that's supposed to be going out, this conspiracy about what's going on in Hawaii, Maui. Remember, unfortunately, all the children that disappeared? But notice that everything in that fire, in that certain neighborhood, anything that was blue did not catch on fire. I don't know. So the blue signifies something. You tell me what you all think, okay? All right, so let's see. The second item that I'm talking about. Let's see, the beach. Okay, let's talk about the beach. Let me see. I wrote some notes down here. One of the things I noticed, like I said, on the beach, a lot of people was either wearing blue or they were wearing red. And notice that the ship that's coming about, it's blue and it's red. Oh, I just noticed something. Sierra, the ship name is White Lion, white, and the ship is in blue and red, white, and blue. Ship for America. I'm just now noticing that, y'all. Notice that? Red, white, and blue. This ship is for America. A flag. Interesting. But personally, I think that the way a lot of people was running on the beach, this is just me. When you see this big tanker coming in, and the way that the people was running on the ship on the beach, obviously they're running to get away from actually getting hit. But I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. To me, it goes a little bit deeper for me. When it goes to it's an oil rig that washed upon the beach. This was the name of a slave ship. For those that may not know, White Lion is the name of the slave ship. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me put a disclaimer out here real quick. If you not have seen the movie, if you have not seen the movie, you may not want to look at this because I'm about to tell it all. I'm about to tell it all. So if you don't want to look at the movie, but you want to hear what's going on, okay, fine. You can stay tuned. But as far as if you have not seen the movie, it's going to be a bunch of spoiler alerts in here, y'all. Okay, just to let you know that. All right, so here the movie is The White Lion. And White Lion is the name of a slave ship. Matter of fact, it was the name of the very first slave ship that supposedly came to America on the coast of Virginia. Right? So the White Lion came around August 20th, 1619. There's a scene in there when the gentleman was looking through his radio, trying to find a station or something, and 1619 came and they could not find it. So my grandbaby just having a good time over here. So yes, 1619. That was the time when White Lion landed on or in Virginia. And let's see, Sarah, where did it land? It was in Point Comfort, the city Point Comfort, August 20th, 1619. Yeah, in Point Comfort, Virginia. I think that's kind of, I'm kind of curious to see what is it that, if this information came from Obama, what is it that he's trying to show? Now, and it was kind of funny to me also, in the movie, all the people that was running on the beach, for some reason, when I looked at it a second time and a third time, to me, in my opinion, when people were running on from the beach, I look at it as, if that was a slave ship that was coming into Africa, were those same kind of people, like how they were running on the beach? Did our ancestors run on the beach like that? If the slave ships was to try to run away from the slave ships, it just, for some reason in my head, I had an image of our people running away from the slave ship. What you think,
As the
CC?
ship was getting closer.
Yeah, as the ship was getting closer, I'm sure they was probably curious about what is this, what's going on. But as it started getting closer, I'm sure, I'm praying, well, I'm sure that a lot of them try to run to not be captured once they realize probably what it is. Some people say that, I've heard this theory as far as, we see something way out, like when the ship was way out there was a scene where the ship was way out there in the water. And we know some of us didn't realize it was a disaster. But the thing is, though, it's like you see the ship out there in the water, but you did nothing. You just sat there, went through your regular day, didn't do nothing, didn't prepare yourself, didn't do anything. And then it started getting closer. Then maybe, okay, a little bit more conversation. You may be having a little bit more conversation. Okay, what is this? What is this? But hey, okay, we're going to keep going. You still keep going to work, mind your business. You pick up the kids from daycare. You keep going, And then one day you actually look up and this same ship is now pretty much almost in your backyard, or it's pretty much now in your view, to the point that you now know, wait a minute, this is coming straight for me. Now you're trying to prepare yourself for what is coming. What you think, CC?
I agree.
You agree? Okay. Yeah. So it just kind of shows that I think that it's out there. We see it, but I think we're ignoring it. And I think many people in the US, and I know it's going to hit all of us, but I really think whatever it is going to hit US harder. I think, in my opinion, I think it's going to hit US harder than it's going to hit here or probably any other country in the world. That's just my opinion, So that's my opinion, you all. So yeah, like I said, 1619, that was the year that the White Lion slave ship arrived on the American grounds. Interesting. Okay. All right. So here's a little bit of history about the White Lion. Okay. So it says the White Lion was an English privateer operating under the Dutch letter of the monarch, which brought the first Africans to the English colony of Virginia in 1619. All right. It's right there, y'all. It's right there. And you all can see what is the story of the White Lion ship. It says late August 1619, between 20 and 30 enslaved Africans landed at Point Comfort, today is Fort Monroe, in Hampton, Virginia, aboard the English privateer ship White Lion. It says it right there. All right, it says it right there. Several days later, these people were sold off, enslaved. So this is where a lot of the enslaved Africans started to come. White Lion. Now, do y'all think that's a coincidence? Come on. Do you think that's a coincidence that they brought White Lion into this? You all, what's getting ready to happen is going to be about us. It's going to be about us Israelites. It's going to be about us. It's going to be about us. Because there's no way that even the information that was given to the writer or the writer of this book or the director of this movie, come on now, really? They just gonna bring this up out of nowhere? Really? Not a coincidence, y'all. Not a coincidence. All right. All right. Now, number 6 for me, the music distraction. Okay. To me, in my opinion, this movie, it just, what did you say? You don't think the music fit the movie? The music did not fit the movie. That you agree, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The music did not fit the movie. And let me tell you why. They actually played R&B, like boy bands. They actually played a few hip hop, rap or whatever you want to call it. But the funny thing about it is, to me, the music is used as a distraction and getting you to focus on the beat of the music and everything than what's actually in the movie. And I'll say it this way. Right now, our people, everybody, is so distracted with what's the latest music video, what's the top 10 music, what's the latest hip hop song, what the celebrities are doing. I mean, what they're wearing. Yeah, just what they're wearing, what they're doing, who they're dating. Just so distracted with the music or anything that has to do with music. To me, is keeping you all from finding or seeing or seeking the truth on what is getting ready to happen. And you're not going to be prepared because everyone is distracted. That's how I took it. What you think, CC?
Yeah.
You agree? Okay. Everyone is distracted. Everyone's distracted. Okay, so let me show you this. So even and the reason why I say the music was used as a distraction, because it's letting you know, y'all, y'all are being distracted because y'all are so focused on something else. You're not seeing what's coming. It's coming. Okay, so look at this one picture right here, y'all. Cece pointed this out to me. I didn't notice it at first until she pointed it. This looked like, what is it called? The Beats headphones?
Yeah.
This looks like the Beats headphones. And over here, I don't know if I showed you this, Cece, but right here, the little music, well, not even just this is the music note. But did you notice that this little handle right here is like the little record thing that you put on a record when they were using vinyl or records? That looks like the little handle that you put on the record. Mm-hmm. But that was in the movie. I'm just like, why would they have that in the movie? And then also there was another scene down here where they showed an overview of the pool. And if you look at the chairs, the way they're positioned, they look like a piano or keyboard.
Yeah.
And the chairs look like the little black notes that's on the keyboard. So they're pretty much saying this music, this is all music right here. It's distracting you. You're not paying attention. So it doesn't matter if it's gospel music, because gospel music has lost its mind. They're starting to do a little bit too much with gospel music or Christian music, whatever you want to call it. And then we're so distracted with, like I said, rap music and everything else. That's my interpretation of this. What you think, Cece? You think so? Yep. Okay. All right. Tell me what you think. Am I just losing my mind and not seeing the Beats headset right there? Or even the keyboard? I think it's a keyboard. I think it's a keyboard. So we'll see. All right. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Look at this one, y'all. Okay. Starbucks. I hope I'm allowed to say that. Starbucks. Okay. So just a couple things on this one. They specifically showed the cup Starbucks. There is an addiction to Starbucks in America. I can't say all over the world, but I do know that there is an addiction to Starbucks. The coffee. And something else that jumped out on me. Okay, so she's not a mermaid. No, you say she is a mermaid. She's a mermaid. If you look at the logo is a mermaid, but it's a siren. Okay. They are sirens. It's just another name. Okay, it's another name for mermaids. Okay. So it says that the sirens, I got the definition of what a siren is, and it says it's pretty much lures sailors to their rock island where the sailors meet an untimely death. So they're lured by their music, by their singing, and they usually lure men in, and usually men could kind of come, and they come to their untimely death. That's what they said the sirens are. So I'm just kind of curious about the logo choice of Starbucks. And then also the second thing is sirens, because they are sirens. In the movie, there was, I think it was either 2 or 3 sirens that went off, or I think it was 2 sirens that went off. And it was such an eerie, high-pitched, high-frequent sound that went off. And it just kind of confused everyone to like where they're at. The sound was so loud, they had to cover their ears. Some of them bent over. It combobulated them. Right? There was
only the child heard.
Okay, so then, and then, right, that's right. So, but the funny thing about it, the sirens was going off, and it was making the birds go crazy. It was just making the animals, they can hear all this. Now, but there was one particular time right before the sirens went off, the little girl, the young girl that's in the movie, her name is Rose. She's about 12, 13 or something like that years old. And she heard the siren at one time before the siren actually went off. So I'm just kind of curious about why she may be so in tuned to certain things that she heard it. So I'm not sure why they kind of set that off from her, but sirens went off. And then they showed, they showed the Starbucks cup before the sirens went off. Interesting. That's all I can say is, okay, interesting. Now, another thing about the siren, just a reminder, remember in October, you all, they had an emergency broadcast system alert. They had those alerts also in the movie, but the sirens only came after the emergency broadcasting system. Because once the emergency broadcasting system set out its alert and it says this is not a test, this is the real world, this is a real thing, the sirens started. The sirens, not the regular sirens that we would think that would notify the city of an emergency, you know, like if you had an earthquake coming in and then the siren is supposed to go off. The siren, this was a very eerie, high-pitched sound that went off. Now, something else I want to point out about that. Remember now, we had an emergency broadcast system that went off in October. They just happened to do an emergency broadcast system alert testing in October. Do you think they're trying to get prepared for something? What do you think, CC? I think they're trying to get us prepared for something, you all. I think they're trying to get us prepared for something. Yeah, they're trying to get you prepared for something, you all. That's not a coincidence. What do you think? Yep. It's not a coincidence, y'all. I think they're trying to get us prepared for something. This siren yeah. They're trying to get you prepared for something. So you all, whew. Okay. All right. So let me go on to the next thing. I'll go on to the next thing. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Yeah. Here goes something fun. So here goes something interesting. So in the game, in the movie, there was a game called Jenga. Y'all know the game Jenga. It's when they're actually building on, you know, you're building these blocks, this building to create. I guess it's just the purpose of just building one on top of the other. Well, let me just point out something about the game Jenga, because that was in there. Here's something a lot of people don't know. Did you know that Jenga was a game from Africa? It was a game from Africa. And it says back in England in 1980, Scott began manufacturing her game and trademarked it, Jenga, a form of the Swahili word kujenga, which means to build. So in other words, this was a game taken from Africa. And someone else is making money off of us, off of our people, our African people. And I can guarantee, I could probably pretty much bet where the game was taken from, it was somewhere in Ghana where the game was taken from. I'm sure they have not seen not one red cent from the profits of this game. So once again, and the puzzle pieces fell over. Yes, okay. So they probably haven't seen not one profit, not one dime from this. I would not be surprised. And also, through this whole chaos with this game, through the whole chaos in the movie, the game fell over. And usually when the game fall over, it just means what? Something's about to collapse. So the game fell over when all the craziness started. But just to point out that I just want you all to know that the game, I'm not sure who he or she is that took it, but the game was from Ghana. And I can't say for sure or not, but I don't think Ghana or the children that showed him the game or showed them the game using children's wooden building blocks, that the children, it says that the family purchased from Sawmill in Ghana. I'm sure that those people did not see not one red cent or profit from that game. I'm sure of it. So yeah, once again, something from Africa making someone else rich. All right. Okay. Yay. Okay, y'all. Okay. I'm almost done, y'all. Almost done. I just had to just do this video so that way you all can see it. Okay. All right. So now number nine. Okay. I'm on number 9. Okay. So here's something. Julia Roberts played a woman. To me, she was like a Karen. She was like a Karen. That's just my opinion. She was like a Karen. In the movie, you could tell she didn't seem like a excuse me, a 100% happy person. She already had judged people because of the type of job that she had that was in the movie. Okay, so the type of job that she had in the movie. She in the movie, you could tell she didn't care for Black people. The character she played did not care for Black people. Did not care at all for them. The house that she rented in the movie, she rented the house from a gentleman named George and his daughter. And George and the daughter are Black. And obviously, the role that Miss Julia Roberts plays, I forgot her character's name, but to me, she was just like a Karen, though. But the role that she played did not care for Black people. The husband was okay. He was a professor at the school, a university, and they had 2 kids. So throughout this movie, when everything was going down, the blackout happened in the city. Mr. George and his daughter was in the city at a home there. They owned this home that this lady was renting. And they had to travel back out of the city to go back into the country where the home was located. Excuse me, where the home was located. And they knocked on the door and they're like, hey, this is our house and we got to come back because we don't have nowhere to stay for the night. The character here, she was not believing that this well-dressed, good-looking Black man owned this house. She just did not want to believe it. Am I right? She just did not want to believe that this Black man owned this house. So she gave him a real hard time at first. So I'm going to say Julia Roberts played that role. I didn't like it, but she played that role. She did. She played that role. But this is the reason why I'm bringing this part up. In the movie, or it just really to me, just this is my opinion, and I'm sure it's Cece's opinion too, but this is just my opinion. And I know it's not all of them. I know it's not all folks. I know we got some clear folks and we got the white folks. But I do know that a lot of people do not give a dang about Black people. But they love everything we do. They love everything about us except, this is supposed to be except us, y'all, but except us. There was a scene where she was in the movie, she was driving, she was in her car, and she was, let me tell you, she was bebopping to what, was it a rap song? I forgot what rap song it was. Was it a rap song or an R&B song? It was one of those songs. So she was, when I tell you, she was bebopping to one of them songs. Don't like Black people, but you love our music. You love our dance.
She was even dancing.
And she was even dancing. So, and then there was a scene where when she finally kind of softened herself up emotionally to Mr. George, George and her was in his library where he had a plethora of albums. Okay. And he decided, you know what, let's kind of calm the mood down a little bit. So let's play some music. Okay. So he's looking for jazz, something that's a little bit, that maybe both at their age can probably relate to. Excuse me. And Karen is like, or this lady, I forgot her name in here, but she was like, no, let's find something that we can dance to. Let's find something that we can have some fun to. So she finds the song, I forgot the name of the song, but in the song, and she jammed to the song. Do y'all remember the song? Okay, so I don't want to sing, even though I can sing. I haven't sang in a long time, but you remember the song? How you gonna stand back, you dancing kind of close, feel a little bulge coming through on you. Remember that song, y'all? Stand back, you standing kind of close, feeling a little bulge coming through on you. Y'all remember that song? Yeah. When I tell you she was jamming on that song, she was jamming on the song with the guy. They were drunk, but they were dancing to the song. Then there was a moment where she finally relaxed herself and they both embraced. They hugged passionately. They hugged passionately. And then she says, "Oh no, you have a wife and we're both married." So you're telling me if there was an opportunity for her to have slept with him, would she? But yet you don't like Black people. In the movie, she didn't like Black people. So like I said, many of them love everything about us except us. They love our music, dance. They want us to entertain them. As long as we entertain them, but we just can't rule over them. We can't make decisions for them. But they'll let you sing, dance, and, you know, whatever else. Anything, I mean, just, it's all a form of jealousy. It's all a form of envy. It was just, and that was blatantly in the movie. Blatantly in the movie. And then I'll get to another point when we get there, but you have all her expressing all of this. And then later on, an article comes out saying that white people were upset about a comment that was made in the movie about them. So wait a minute. So you're saying that this lady can play the role of a Karen, can act the role out of a Karen, and the only thing they can remember, I'll get there. But y'all will notice, y'all will see what I'm talking about. Okay. So there's this, there was another video too. Let me get my little notes. There's another piece to the video where it says the Black people thoughts are, we got to get ourselves to the mind that we got to get ourselves to the point that we do not trust anyone. Okay, so let me see if I got this up here. Okay, so I'm going to skip this part, you all, but I'm going to take you all to where I'm going with this right here. But we got to get to a point that we can't trust anyone. If it's not your family member, you can't trust anyone. It doesn't matter whether they're Black or white. It don't matter. If anything go down in the U.S., you cannot trust anybody. Because when people run out of money, when people get hungry, when they feel scared, I'm telling y'all, it's going to be like the doggone purge in America. That's shown in the movies. It's going to be like the purge. So we'll get back to this in just a minute. Okay, now, you got anything to say, Cece? Nope. Okay. All right. So cyber attacks. Okay. All right. Whew. So in the movie, it talks about cyber attacks. It talked about how they had breaking news, like say on CNN, breaking news. It says the East Coast of the United States reports power failure. MSNBC, breaking news, hackers behind the power outage. So they're getting these alerts that when they finally come in, they're getting these alerts. So now what's happening is they're underneath a cyber attack. This can happen, y'all. This can happen. There would be no access to phones. There would be no access to computers. The ATM machines are going to be down. Y'all going to lose your damn mind. GPS is not going to work. None of that stuff is going to work. None of it is going to work. We're going to be like sitting ducks, as the phrase that they were using, but we're pretty much going to be like sitting ducks because we're not going to have access to even news, television, because we rely so much on we rely so much on the internet. We rely so much on the internet and cable. You're not going to have anything. If we go up underneath a cyber attack, you're not going to have anything. So they had a scene in there where this one guy who had a bunker, and in his bunker, he had a plethora of movies and shows in alphabetical order. And he had movies from A all the way to Z. And I mean, it was like, it had to be like hundreds or probably even 1,000, 2,000 different type of movies, shows, documentaries, just all kind of stuff that he had against his wall. If you feel like you have to watch TV or something like that, you all, well, y'all better get to recording. Y'all better get to start buying some movies or downloading some for free, or start buying the Blu-rays or whatever it is that you need to buy. Because once the internet is taken down, just in case, once the internet is taken down, that might be it. That might be it for a while. We don't know. You know, Babylon is falling. Y'all, that might be it. The new world is coming in. This new world order is coming in. So y'all need to probably get ready for that. You need to get ready for it. All right. Now, also, here's something interesting. Okay, so NASA. They had one young lady, the young lady Rose, the 13-year-old girl, had on this t-shirt. She had the name NASA on her shirt. Her brother, who had to be about maybe 16, somewhere around there, 16, 17, somewhere around there, he had a shirt on, and it had the name Obey. It had the little character, the little face on there that says Obey. Like, y'all have to comply and obey. Y'all know that's where they want us to go, right? They want us to comply and they want us to obey. Now, I have a link here just to let you know, so y'all can see where this link from. The word, some Christians explain the word NASA. And the word NASA means, y'all, to deceive, seduce, or led astray in Hebrew. Interesting. But I know it's an acronym for the NASA space station. I know that, but you gotta look at this movie, y'all. Y'all gotta look at this movie to see all these little hints and stuff that they were been throwing out on this movie. Okay. All right. So here's another clue. Let's see. Here's another one. Okay. Sorry about the picture not being the best, but okay. Airplane crashes. There was a scene in there where George comes upon, he was walking on the beach. He was looking for a friend of his, some neighbors. And in the back of his neighbor's house, they had a beach. So he walked out to the beach. And then he sees this watch where sand was covering it up. He sees this watch in the sand. And he bends down to pick up this watch. But when he picks up the watch, he picks up an arm that was attached to the watch. And then when he looks up, he realized it was an airplane crash. So that means that during this blackout, or whatever you call it, GPS is going to go down, navigations is going to go down, the computer system is going to go down. There's not going to be, I don't think there's going to be any traveling, y'all. Traveling will go to zero. At least I think. That's just my opinion. Yeah, travel will go to zero. Travel will go to zero. Yeah. But I found this verse in, and I didn't put the verse up there. I'm so sorry. It was in Matthew's. I'll put it in the details area, you all. It was in Matthew's. And it says, "But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, and neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be." Like I said, it says, "But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, nor on the Sabbath." Winter is coming. Y'all know the Sabbath day is always Saturday. That has not changed. They're trying to change it, but they can't, because Father Yah has not ordained anyone to do that. But you all, they had a couple of plane crashes there. There was also, when he was there and he's looking at all the different bodies that was on the beach during the plane crash. Yeah, another one came and landed right on the plane. I mean, landed right there in right on the beach. Another plane crash. Ah, man, this movie was deep to me. This movie was really, really, really deep. So what you think, CC? Mm-hmm. Yep, you agree? Okay. All right. All right, I'm gonna keep moving on, y'all. Okay, here's another one. It was a Mexican lady. There was a scene where the father, not George, but the Julia Roberts character's husband was trying to ride into the city to try to find out what's going on, if anybody got any information, and he runs into a Mexican woman who's on the side of the road, and she's kind of like flagging someone down, flagging them down. That's the only other person that they can show almost in this movie. But she flags him down. He stops. She goes to the window and she's talking to him hysterically in Spanish. He doesn't understand a thing that she's saying. But here is what makes this particular scene interesting. He could not help her because he didn't understand what she was saying. But do you know how, y'all know how, if you put your subtitles on a TV show, and you know how your subtitles will let you say, hey, you want to subtitle it to English, Spanish, or Vietnamese, Korean, whatever, right? If you look at the subtitles here, now I can say on my TV, and I got a smart TV, I can say on my TV because I don't want to say on all of them. But I noticed that Netflix on my TV did not show what she was saying as a subtitle in the show. You could cut on the subtitles and it shows every other word that's in English. It is giving you what you could read down there as a subtitle. But when it came to her part, it didn't let you know. So they kind of make you go, well, what is she saying? Why isn't he responding? What is she saying? So now you have to take what she's saying, go out on Google and find out what she's saying for you to understand what she was screaming in the movie. But needless to say, she was talking about the military. What was she saying? It was saying something about the military coming to the house or something like that.
There is
a
jet in the sky.
It was it was a jet in the sky, and they were spraying what?
I don't know, some type of.
Was it a chemical or some type of?
Yeah, but I think she was talking about
those red pamphlets. Yeah, okay. It was a jet that was or a drone that was letting out red pamphlets. But she was talking about something that's happening, but because he could not understand Spanish, he couldn't help her, or he just ended up driving off and leaving her there on the side of the road, screaming and crying and carrying on. He couldn't help her. Have y'all ever noticed that there's always such an issue when it comes to Mexicans and Indians about the land? It's always you ever notice that, y'all, that there's always an issue? And they like to teach us the song, oh, this land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the Great New Island, or whatever it is, the song is. Y'all remember that song? Maybe this land was not your land. This land was not their land. This was not our land. This was their land. And that's how come they have so many problems with the Mexican immigration. But it's just kind of funny how they added her into this situation, and she has no subtitles, so you could not understand what she's saying. I just thought that was pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Okay. All right. Next, Tesla. This was funny, y'all. This was funny. Okay. A couple things on this one. Okay, so the movie had a whole bunch of Tesla cars in it. They were all crashing. Okay, it was all crashing in the movie. So as you can see from this image, this picture, it had to be almost 100 of them. Okay, it had to be like a whole bunch of these cars. Turns out that in the movie, the autopilot had a problem. It had a chip problem. There was a chip problem going on with the autopilot. So all these cars just kind of took off, or they were hacked, took off and it blocked up the interstate. So it looked like it kept people in the big cities instead of letting people out of the big cities. So y'all have heard of people saying, you know what? When all this stuff going to go down, the one place you do not want to be is in the big cities. Why? They're going to be able to control everything. They're going to be able to control you. They're going to be able to control the food. You control the food, you control the people. You control the money, you control the economics. So if you are in the big city, you might want to think about getting out or relocating. It's just a suggestion, just a thought, just a suggestion, just a thought. Okay. Now, funny thing about it also in this movie, a couple days, it was either, I didn't write the date down, but it was either a couple days before the movie or either a couple days after the movie. There's some dirt on this one. But Tesla recalls all the vehicles on the U.S. road over the lack of autopilot safeguards. And this was in Washington, D.C., yeah, on the 13th. It said Tesla's recalling over 2 million vehicles in the U.S. to install new safeguard on it. Now, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Safeguard in its autopilot advanced driver's assistant program. After the federal safety regulators cited safety concerns. Now, let me tell you this. This is the funny thing about it. Okay, so let me tell you the funny thing about this. So this is real life, y'all. Tesla's recalling 2 million cars back. They're recalling it for real, for real. And it's just funny that it just happened to be shown in this movie. So the supposedly issue is not just that it was an autopilot assistant software was malfunctioning or something, but turns out, here's some good tidbit information. And I'm gonna put the link down. Let me see if I got it on the next page. I'm gonna put the link down in the details for you so you all can find, look at it and read the information yourself, okay? So it turns out that the chip or something about the chip that goes into the Tesla cars all of a sudden had to be recalled. Malfunction. The chip is malfunction. The chip is created by a company called, what was it called, CC?
Mobileye.
Mobileye. Yes, Mobileye is the name of the company that created the chip for the Tesla cars. If I'm correct, I'm gonna put the information down so you all can research this yourself. So Mobileye created the chip or something to do with the autopilot advanced driver system. Okay. So recently, just recently, the company and what's the man's name? Elon Musk. Okay. Their companies have departed from each other, separated from each other, pulled from apart, or whatever you want to call it. Guess where the company, what is it, Mobileye, is located? Guess where the company is located? The headquarters of the company that created this chip is located. Ready for this? Israel. The company is located in Israel. Supposedly, they departed from Tesla's cars or from this particular company, Elon Musk, whatever his name is. They departed from him because he made a statement, which was an anti-Semitic statement. And they were not happy with him. And as soon as he supposedly had made that statement, either a couple days later or something like that, they canceled their company. And then all of a sudden, now you have 2 million cars on a recall, just as this movie is coming out. Wow. That's all I can say is, wow. Okay. I'm gonna put the information down in my description, and you all can see it right for yourself. You can read it for yourself. All I can say is interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay. All right. Now, next thing, let's see. We coming to the end, y'all. We coming. We getting there. We getting there. Father and daughter's conversation. Okay. So the father and the daughter had a conversation in the basement of their house. And some palm color folks are upset about the conversation. Now, not even that they're mad about the conversation that she had with her father. Do you know how many conversations folks have with each other about Black people? About Black people. And as much as, and this is what I was talking about earlier, and as much as the Julia Roberts, who played her role, how she treated them in the beginning, y'all, no one has said anything about how she treated them so badly in the beginning, but yet you all could talk, they're fussing about the conversation that these two people had in their bedroom, in the basement of their home. The young lady has said to her father, she said, I'm asking you to remember, if the world falls apart, trust should not be doled out easily to anyone, especially white people. Even mom would agree with that. Looking at this young lady, it looks like in this particular role, her mom could have been a white female, or it could have been a European American. Okay, so her mom is most likely a European American. As you can see, her father's an African American. So that's why she looks the way she is. Beautiful girl. She looks the way she is. So even she said in here that even mom would agree with me on that. She said even her mom would even agree with her on that. Do not dole out easily to anyone. Trust. Do you know there's a whole article out there about people being upset about this conversation? And they're mad about it with Obama. He did not write the story. What'd you say?
But also the fact that the people in the story, they're downstairs in their own house.
In the basement.
In the basement. And they're giving these people their bedrooms. Their bedrooms.
Okay, so see, and that's the thing that's what's so funny. You're not mad about what the scenario, what the situation is. The situation in this particular case, as you can see the picture, the situation was you have this European American family that comes and they're renting a home as an Airbnb in their house. Their house. Situation happened. They come back to the house saying, hey, we can't get a hotel. We need to be in our house. We will just let us stay in our basement of our house while y'all are up in the main room. So they let them be in the main room. Of course, the Julia Roberts character just fussing and whining, moaning and groaning, but he's still letting y'all stay in the master bedroom of their house. The owner of the house is staying in the basement. And that basement, as beautiful as it was, everyone's trying to say it almost looked like the wood that you would use on a ship. It was like the wood that would look like it was used on a slave ship. But they stayed in the basement.
Or as if they had to be in there and that
like
the quarters.
Or in their quarters, like their maid quarters. Yes. Okay. So they're in the house. And then the situation was when at one time, Julia Roberts, the European American family decided, you know what, we're gonna leave. We're going to leave and we're going to try to figure it out and we're going to be on our own. We appreciate what you did for us. Woo, woo, woo. Peace out. Talk to you later. Bye. They left. Just I ain't say abruptly left, but they just left. They want to get away from them. Okay, well, fine. Y'all want to get away from, the African-American people. Okay, no problem. They left. And then they ran into the situation with the Tulsa cars, which we talked about earlier. So these two people are at their house now by themselves. Later on, when the family realized, oh, wait a minute, we can't get past the cars, the Tesla cars, guess where they came back to? The same family that they tried to get away from. Because guess what? They had nowhere else to go. They couldn't get into the city because the cars blocked the roads in and out of this city. So they had to come back to these people. So then guess what? Even when they came back, Mr. George, being the kind-minded person that he is, that's what I'm talking about, the black thought, the black mentality, being the kind-minded person that he is, once again, instead of putting them in the basement, they end up being the father, Mr. George and his daughter end up sleeping in the basement. The daughter was not happy. And that's why the conversation went on, saying, please to remember, if the world falls apart, trust should not be doled out easily, especially to anyone. And the European American got to sleep up in the master bedroom again. And this is on a night that they're not even paying for it. That's what that was the conversation. But see, no one don't see anything wrong with that. They only could think about her saying, especially white people. It's just amazing how people could look at stuff. It is just amazing how people could look at stuff. But hey, whatever. Okay. All right. So we just talked about the basement. So yeah, so a lot of people was upset about that. Okay. All right, you all, let's see. Solar. Okay. So y'all, we do have another solar eclipse 2024 coming up. That should be around April 8th, 2024. And it should show the path of the solar eclipse. X marked the spot, which looks around to be the state of Kentucky. The state of Kentucky. Funny thing about that, about the state of Kentucky, in one of the videos, it's showing you, matter of fact, I know you probably can't really see the picture here. It was a solar eclipse here, and it was the U.S. flag, but I want to show you all something real quick. Let me go back one. There was right here. There was a scene right here where there is a QR code over Kentucky. A QR code over Kentucky. They show it on the map. You don't see it at first because of the way the map is, but when you see it on the show, know that there's a QR code over Kentucky. Now everyone is saying though, the QR code that's over Kentucky is where it could be where X marked the spot for the next solar eclipse. And that QR code is right over in it was an abandoned amusement park. An amusement park was created over an old Indian burial. Yeah. It was an old Indian burial grounds. And wasn't it some slaves there? Or it was just an Indian burial ground? It was an Indian burial ground. But it's right where this QR code is at. And X marked the spot. Possibly X marked the spot.
Talk about like where the blue.
Yes, well, where the
with Maui.
And yes. Okay, so now to me, reason why I'm saying bringing this up, because to me, with the blue, and like I said, I'm relating the blue to Maui, what's going on or what went on in Maui, in Hawaii, unfortunately, and the children that's disappeared. I'm not sure if it's been an update, if the children were found or whatever the situation may be. If the children were not found, I think somebody might need to go take a look at where that QR code is at in Kentucky. You may want to take a look on there. And I would think you might need to look underground. That's just me. That's, my conspiracy is just a thought. But there is another solar eclipse coming up, you all, in 2024, April 8th. Be ready. All right, now we're getting there to the end, y'all. Getting there to the end. Okay, so coup d'etat. I might have said it wrong. Coup d'etat. Okay, so in the movie, also towards the end, it talked about 3 different stages that's going to happen before pretty much while hell is breaking loose. The first thing they're going to do is do isolation. They talked about how they're going to disable the communications and the transportation, meaning that the cell phone's going to go out. There's no communications between, there's no Instagram, y'all. There's no Facebook. There's no WhatsApp. There's none of that. All that's going to go out. Even TikTok. Yep. You are not going to be ticking and talking. So all that's going to go out. So they're going to take down your communication. They're going to take down your transportation. Well, that's what all these little, what we call over here, they call them brain blocks, but all the computer stuff that's in your cars, they're going to start taking that down, you all. If they control the computers in your car, guess what? They control your transportation. Like, for example, OnStar. If OnStar wanted to, you know, they can just cut your computer off or cut your engine off, especially if you ain't pay your bill. They can cut you off. Okay, so that's the first thing they're going to do is put you in isolation. 2, that's when chaos is going to break out. There's going to be attacks, sirens going off, misinformation, and they're saying that people are going to start turning on each other. Oh, y'all, people are going to cut up and act the doggone fool. You're going to act the fool. You do not realize how bad that this could actually get. Then number 3 is going to be all out, what they call coup d'etat, which is called civil war and collapse. People are going to fight against people. It's going to be black against white, white against black, probably poor against the rich, rich against the poor. It's going to be, it's going to be all out war. It's going to be all out war and then a collapse. And then a collapse. It's going to be bad. Now, I'm thinking that this can't be just some information that Obama's just giving out. You know what I'm saying? Just giving out all willy-nilly. Really? Kind of make you go, huh? You know, so you got to look at this. You got to look at what's coming. What is it telling you? How do you feel about it? All right. So let me go on to the next, and I want to run out of time. Okay, out of time. Okay, so here you all, I should have changed the title. Sorry about that. This young lady, Rose, was obsessed with the show called Friends. Obsessed with the show called Friends. Well, she was obsessed with episode 10, I think it was, and she wanted to see the last episode. The last episode, you all, was called The Last One. The last one. What, to me, in my opinion, what it means to me is that the last will be first and the first will be last. They will be the last ones. That's what it means to me.
They would take our
A lot of them, a lot of the positions that we're in, many of them is going to end up taking our spot. And we're going to end up taking their spot. We're going to finally be the head and not the tail. That's how I've looked at it. Someone else may have a different opinion. I would love to hear it, okay? Also, something kind of crazy about this too. So you all see Matthew Perry. That's the gentleman that's, let's see, right here. This gentleman right here. So this gentleman, which a lot of people may not know, he passed, unfortunately, he passed in October of this year, the 23rd. I mean, not the year 2023. He passed in October, year 2023. This year, October. However, he passed on Julia Roberts' birthday, which is what, the 28th?
Yeah.
The 28th of October. He dies the 28th of October. Julia Roberts' birthday is the 28th of October. They used to date. At one time, they dated. And then now Julia Roberts put this movie out. Is that a coincidence? Huh. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You all tell me what you think. You know what I'm saying? You tell me what you think. Okay, so let me see. Something else I want to show you all before we end up ending this. Okay, so look at this real quick, you all. So this is something that also came out in October. And maybe I just missed it. It's a possibility it was just me, because I don't get a lot of the regular news over here. But I want you all to look at this. Did you know that they're talking about, or at one time talking about, mass evacuation for the U.S. citizen? But which U.S. citizen? Look at this real quick, you all.
Evacuations are one of those things. I mean, there's not a place in the world where the Pentagon doesn't have contingency plans on the shelf. May need updating, but have them on the shelf to help with the evacuation of American citizens. And given what's going on in the Middle East right now, I think it's perfectly reasonable. I think it would be imprudent and irresponsible if we weren't doing some kind of contingency thinking. But we're not at a point of execution right now. And there are still plenty of opportunities, for instance, even in Israel, for people to get out. We're still doing contract charter flights, and there's still commercial flights going in and out of Ben Gurion. And frankly, the demand signal for our contract charter flights hasn't been very high. They're still going, but they're not all filled. And the same could be said for places like Lebanon. But each country is different, and threats and challenges in each will change over time. And we're doing all the right prudent thinking that you would expect us to.
I know that we've that you've thanked Qatar for its role in helping to secure the release of.
Okay, you all. Okay, so I'll put that link down in the bottom too. When he was saying evacuation, I'm wondering if he's talking about a mass evacuation for the U.S. citizen here in the U.S., or are you talking about in other countries? That's what I'm kind of curious about. Because if they had to do a mass evacuation in the U.S., I'm telling you all, they already got that plan. They already got who they're going to take. You ever seen the movie? You all ever seen the movie 2012? Yep, 2012. That's what it brought right that to me. I'm telling you, I think 2012 was telling us something. In the movie, when it was time for them to start evacuation procedures, only a certain group of people was notified on their cell phone saying that the boarding procedures was starting. They knew what was coming. They know what's coming. And they were starting the boarding procedures. And it was only at the time the super rich. And Cece said, only the super rich, the elite, what they call the elite. So you all need to be able to start. Okay, so just start preparing for just in case you have to evacuate, because you all, this is not going back to normal. It's not, you all. This is not going back to normal. I just don't think this is going back to normal, you all. I don't think we're going back to normal. Okay, so anyway, so thank you all for sitting here. If you watched the whole video, thank you for making it to the end. I appreciate it. Thank you. Don't forget to give me a like. I would love for you to share, and I would love, 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 love your comments. I want to see what you're saying. What did you think about the movie? Did you see it? Did you not see it? How many times did you see it? Because I saw it like 3-4 times. About to see it again. But that's my movie for the weekend. So let me know what you think. Tell me, what did you think? And like I said, love to hear your comments. I am out. Fatima out. I hope you all have a good rest of the day. I'll see you all. Have a good one.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you're not a subscriber, click the subscribe button so that way you could be notified of our upcoming videos.